before I get into this video, get this Bucs game out the way because I did miss it and I didn't drop a video for that. What a complete embarrassment. 7 points in the fourth quarter. 245 yards of nothingness because we didn't get any points out of it. We only got 7 points out of the whole game. DeVito was no better than Daniel Jones. Probably worse, but it doesn't even matter because over the break, Jones was reduced to the fourth-string quarterback and then he was released. And now DeVito starts for us. And I know that he's homegrown Giants fans in the tri-state area. I know that Giants fans support him and stuff. But I knew how this game was going to turn out. And let me just say that I wasn't surprised. There wasn't enough targets for Tyrone Tracy or Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors only got like 64 yards, but he was only targeted 9 times. So I would say that he had a pretty good game, but why they didn't try to give Malik Neighbors the ball more? 30-7. They must really fuck with Daniel Jones, bro, because they was not pleased when he was released. When he was released, nobody in the locker room was pleased. It seemed like everybody was holding the coach accountable for that. So as of today, which is Thanksgiving when I'm recording this, Giants currently hold the 2nd overall pick in the draft. And you know major changes are happening with the Giants. With these changes, it could either get better or worse. Now, get this out the way. You can call me a fake fan. I believe tanking is necessary. I do. For the future, man. Sometimes you got to plan for the future. And I want a quarterback just like everybody else. And I know a lot of people are looking at Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Me personally, if Shedeur Sanders gets drafted by the Giants, he'll shake the media up. We need somebody else in the locker room who's not afraid to speak his fucking mind, to hold other players and people in the organization accountable. We need somebody like that in the locker room. We need somebody else. And I promise you, I know that, you know, our more traditional Giants fans would say that the Giants would never draft a black quarterback. Listen, guys, if it ain't happening this year or next year or the year after that, it's going to happen some year. It's going to happen at some point. And I know a lot of Giants fans prefer Arch Manning. Another year without a good quarterback, I don't really know if I could do, but I'm not tripping on that. I hope he's worth it. I hope he's worth it. And I know that DeVito brought some culture to the Giants, but I promise you, you ain't seen nothing yet. You get somebody like Shedeur on the Giants, he will rock the Giants world. But you know what? I'm gonna save that for another day. I need to give our former quarterback a proper send off. You know, I know he ain't give us enough. Wasn't the best at making quick decisions. I know he wasn't the best at keeping the ball protected. The best at deep passes, some would say. The best at closing close games in the fourth quarter. I know, but I'd be damned if Daniel Jones didn't try. I'd be damned. One thing that was consistently said about DJ was that he was the hardest worker. What they say, first one in and last to leave, that's Danny. And Daniel, if you ever see this video, which I'm sure you're not because you got way better stuff to do, I just wanted you to know from one Giants fan to another former Giant, I appreciate that. We think we know a lot about Danny, right? But I want to put everybody on game, if you will. Daniel Jones is a fighter, a warrior. Some quarterbacks give up on their team. Some quarterbacks become tired and go to their coach and complain and say, hey, I need to get out the game for a second. Some become easily upset. Some are fragile. Some can't play hurt. But you, Daniel Jones, you played through a neck injury. That is the most craziest thing someone could do. You're a damn warrior. And dare I say, I hope our next quarterback has half of the balls as you do, DJ. No, Diddy. A lot of Giants fans probably like me to say that you was trash, you sucked. The fans waited outside the stadium to cuss you out and ridicule you and crucify you on Twitter. They say the most mean, hateful shit about you. You see, Danny, our fans are kind of spoiled because it's not like the Giants need to be going to the Super Bowl every single year, but every now and then we go to the Super Bowl and win. You replaced Eli Manning, my personal favorite Giant not named Victor Cruz. And that was some big shoes to fill. Giant fans need a quarterback that they can be competitive with and win. So Danny, I don't want to be like those fans and say you suck. And also, my mother and father raised me right, so I would never stand outside the stadium and wait for you to walk in and ridicule you and degrade you. In fact, I do quite the opposite. I would have stood outside MetLife Stadium, waited till you passed by to tell you I appreciate you. Why? Because you kept your composure through all the bullshit. A lot of Giants fans want to forget you. They want to forget that you never even existed. But I want to say to you that you gave us some of the best memories as a Giant. Remember when you started against the Bucs and beat them from an 18-point deficit? That was hope. One of my favorite moments from you as a Giant was when you had that 80-yard run against the Eagles and you slipped and fell. Well, you tripped and fell. Remember when you beat the Colts to secure that playoff spot in 2022? And all of the Giants fans in the stadium was chanting MVP, MVP as tears rolled down your face, Danny. Do you remember that? Remember you had your first playoff win against the Vikings? All I'm going to say is a lot of money was lost that night. And a lot of hearts was broken. And for the first time in a long time, while Daniel Jones was the quarterback, they had to respect the New York Football Giants. So I just wanted to say for that, I appreciate that. And now that your tenure with the Giants is over and the dust has settled, you are officially a Viking. You've been a New York Giant for so long that it's going to be a little weird seeing you in different color and another uniform. And I would be remiss if I didn't show my appreciation for your time as a Giant. So that's why I'm doing this video. 6 years. 6 long years. And some might say too long. Some might say it's been too long. You had to wait too long for a number one receiver. Too long you had to deal with changes in a regime, coaching, staff. Your offensive line was never consistent. No, Giants fans, I'm not making up excuses for Danny. These are valid issues that stunned the growth of Daniel Jones. And you know who else the Giants did dirty? I hate to say it because he went to the other side. But Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was stunned by the Giants' inconsistencies. And you know what? They both deserve everything from the NFL. And I don't know why the Eagles have been so lucky in recent years, but you know what? I gotta respect it. You gotta respect the Giants fans. You gotta respect it because, to be quite honest, I'm a little jealous. I am. Very jealous. Jealous that such a horrible organization like the Eagles and the Cowboys would work together in the draft to switch places for Devontae Smith. They knew we wanted him. That could have been Daniel Jones' number one receiver. Remember you was going to get that number one receiver, Danny? You was going to get Devontae Smith, but the Eagles and the Cowboys and the NFL hates the Giants so much that they messed up our entire draft, and we ended up having to pick Kadarius Toney. You know how that turned out? Tragic. Tragic. We gonna call it Tragic Tony. The only good player that really came out of that draft was Aziz, and he's not even a starter. He's showing some good signs and some good promises, but you know. Danny, at the start of the 2022 season, we were doubtful, but we still remained hopeful. And not even the season later, Kadarius Toney was, traded to the Chiefs. Left you with practice squad receivers and Darius Slayton. The same season, though, through all of that adversity, you played to your ceiling and took us to the playoffs. And I just wanted to say, for that, Danny, thank you. And now that you're no longer a Giant, now that you are a Viking, I'm proud of you. This is my video, and I wanted to make this. Like I said, I missed the Bucs game, but we're tanking. So why does that matter? Some Giants fans may not like this video. Some Giants fans may not even click on it because it's like, what are we thinking this dude for? But you know what? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So that's my message to you guys today. And yeah, go Big Blue. Beat the Cowboys. Please. Please beat the Cowboys. Jesus